What's up everyone and welcome to another Warframe video. Today is a bit of a new strat for you, and it's going to be one that's going to allow you to take on the Steel Path version of the high risk Path Prodman run, and naturally also on the standard modes high risk as well. We're going to be throwing it back to about 2016 in this video, and it's kind of fitting that we recorded this on a Wednesday because the strat all revolves around Trinity Prime. Trinity has been a frame that in recent years has fallen out of favour basically. Other support frames and the general ability to be self-sufficient has really pushed her out of favour. However, she used to be one of the best single target damage frames in the game, making use of Well of Life and Energy Vampire to do ridiculous damage. This build is a huge throwback to that old school build, and it really gets made possible by the changes made to Viral a while ago. The change to Viral, where it affects damage done to a target, also affects the damage done by Energy Vampire. Combine that with huge power strength and you have an ability with actual percent damage that can take down even the strongest of enemies you can face. We're also going to be making a lot of use out of shield gating changes that came in the update earlier this year. Energy Vampire has an augment which gives you shield back if your energy pool is full. With the huge strength in this build, you're not only boosting the damage that the Energy Vampire does, you are boosting the energy return, and as such the energy overflow into shield, resetting your shield gate. With this much strength, it is super easy to reset that shield gate and give you a very healthy amount of overshields, and that makes you almost invincible. Before it gets mentioned in the comments, we're not using Brief Respite or Decaying Dragon Key, because for some reason it felt like they weren't very reliable. There were a lot more unexplained deaths with them than without, mostly because it felt like the shield gate was failing. I can't really explain it, but that is the reason they're not on this build. But that basically means Energy Vampire is not just our damage, and boy does it do a lot of damage, but it is also our survivability, all in one nice, neat little package. So build-wise, what are we looking at? Well, it's a 5-former build focusing on super high strength and tanking duration as much as possible. Umbral Intensifier, Augur Secrets, Transient Fortitude, Blind Rage, Power Drift, and Growing Power are all there to give us ridiculous strength. Transient and Fleeting are also bringing that duration way down to make EV tick faster, resetting the shield gate quicker, and doing more damage in a shorter amount of time. Vampire Leech is going to give us the shield from the energy overflow. Prime Flow gives us a buffer when holding a lot of tokens, and then Vigilante Pursuit for enemy radar, because doing a Prodman run without radar is simply miserable. Arcanes are not hugely important to the build, but are definitely nice to have. Arcane Aegis for the shield regen on hit, which makes you basically unkillable when you've got it up. Constant resets of that shield gate. Energize is mostly for that initial burst of energy on the start of a mission, or if you screw up and die, which is actually quite easy to do. As for a secondary weapon, you want basically what is a good condition overload procer. I personally run a Rattle Guts with Ram Flare and Gibber. Both multi-shot mods are on there, max fire rate, all 4 dual stats, and packs charge for unlimited ammo. As per all my videos, I try to show all of this without the need for a ribbon, so all of this footage is done with this unribboned build. So with that said and done, how do you play the build? Well, this is perhaps the hardest part of it, because it's by no means an easy build to play. Do it wrong, get out of position, lose concentration, you will die. You need to be on the ball. It's a high risk, high reward build in the truest sense of the word. Prioritize using your EV over priming for Viral. EV is your survivability. There's no point priming the Viral if they've already killed you. If it takes a second cast to kill them because you EV'd, primed them, and then EV'd again, not a big deal. Keep an eye out for damage over time though, as well as things like the turrets they activate. Those things are pretty bad for your health, and don't forget your operator as well, just to drop into if you need it. When priming for Viral, it's not necessary to get 10 stacks on everything but the Auditor, and potentially the Raptor. Most other things die after only a couple of Viral procs. I personally just procced everything with just about 10 stacks, just because this thing fires so fast. You often do it by accident anyway, and it's not like it hurts, so just go for it. You have unlimited ammo, there is absolutely nothing to lose. Be aware of positioning though, this build doesn't do that well under sustained fire. If you're taking too much aggro, which you can see basically from your minimap, reposition. Try and make it so you aren't taking them all on at once. Or you could do what I did, recognise the issue, drop into Operator, use Lockdown a few times, or Operator out to reposition. That saved my bacon a number of times, and is something I definitely recommend. One thing I do recommend also is to bind your second power to mouse wheel. Because EV is a single target ability and has to be cast directly on an enemy, literally just freewheeling your mouse whilst aiming vaguely at them makes this build a ton easier to play and makes EV less clunky. It's not something that's really necessary to make the build work, however, it does make things a lot nicer. But like I said in my video on the test cluster, I didn't think that the solo Steel Path high-risk Prodman would be possible without percentage damage, and here it is, in the form of someone rather unlikely, the newly crowned Queen of the Index, Trinity Prime. So I hope you enjoyed my video on this. Let me know what you think, and if there's anything else that you think would be possible to do this with. But for now, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I shall catch you in the next video.